Hey there, lads and lasses. This, of course, is Thunderhand64, coming at you live from the west coast of the United States on a Wednesday. It is a little bit past noontime. It is a little bit past noontime. Yeah, let's speak, mouth. And that can only mean that it's time for some generations. And today we'll be in the Baby Zombie Rush beta world today. Just a couple of reminders. First of all, happy holidays to everybody. I hope you're all doing well. We have some cool stuff coming down here. Older son Biggity will be home from university tomorrow evening. Actually, very, very early Friday morning. So, Kachi has reduced hours at school. Next week will be drastically reduced. So I'll have to leave much earlier to pick him up on Wednesday and Friday of next week. So stream times may change because of that. So there'll be that. Also, Buffooncraft SMP, which we stream Fridays. We have the Holiday Lucky Block redeems running for those streams, for all of the Buffoon streams. And those are available. I've upped the cooldown time to 24 minutes, so there's potentially 5 per stream. And let me see. There's so many cool things being built on Buffooncraft right now. The Buffoons have pulled out all the stops. I think this is probably one of the most spectacular Christmas builds we've ever had on the server in the 6 seasons. It's really incredible. The 2025 Christmas area is just looking spectacular. So please check out my stream on Friday and check out the other Buffoon streams. It's just really amazing to see the builds. Okay, welcome on in, Sage. Hey, and thanks for that wee Kachi laugh, Redeem. It's my favorite laugh. It's my favorite laugh. And of course, welcome on in, Jeannie, and appreciate the lurk, Jeannie. And you can see the auto shoutouts for each of them up above. Let's log in. And good Lord, it's been so very long since we've worked in Baby Zombie Rush. We have to remember where we've been, what we were doing. Display scene is right there. There it is. And let's see. Let us log on. Right up in here. Here we are. Ho, ho, ho. I think I broke my... yes, I did. Oh, no. And then we lost one of our signs here. We'll update that later. That'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. Totally fine. My dumb joke has destroyed my progress wall here. All right, so when last we left off, we've been doing a lot of work on the Aqua Parkour. Because, like a lot of things in Baby Zombie Rush here, I didn't think it would be that difficult to do, and it's quite involved. Exiting. Okay, I think what we had planned here. Let's get caught up. Player is being hotly pursued by bloodthirsty baby zombies. Happens to come down this way, sees this area, decides to enter into this area. And when they do, it'll trigger some blocks. One of the first things that will happen is this will flood. This area will flood. The parkour elements will pop out of the wall. And also, barrier blocks will be placed. Places barrier blocks. And that prevents the player from doing this kind of activation, like running back and forth, activate, deactivate, activate, no, they're in here now. Baby zombies can fit under this, which should inspire the player to move forward to escape them, right? Now, the player could either try to trudge through the water. The water will also slow down the baby zombies. The player should be able to see a button at the end. Right there, kind of hidden behind this block. So devious, indeed. Or the player could try to parkour. Oh yeah, that's right. You have to hit this stair right at the very edge like that and parkour across. And over here, they should be able to do that faster than the baby zombie. They'll land over here. They'll hit this. They'll get some goodies. The goodies are Depth Strider 3 boots and a stick with knockback 2 on it. They'll be able to now quickly double back through the water, swat away some baby zombies. When they press that button, this barrier should drop and allow them to escape. This will drain, allowing the baby zombies out, and they will proceed along the rest of the maze. So that's what we're trying to get to all happen here. Yeah, it's difficult to do. It's difficult to do, people. So we have the separate elements in place. We have this flooding, the parkour elements kicking out. We have this button distributing the items, so that works on one circuit. The barrier blocks we have appearing into place. We have that on a separate circuit. Then, of course, there will be maybe some sort of timer or something here. The area will then drain. These will recess into the walls again. And then the barrier will be removed. That's the idea. And that's what needs to happen there. All right, now what we were trying to do next was we were trying to get the syntax for the code, so when the player crosses through these blocks, it detects the player and activates that system. I think that's what we were working on last. And yeah, that was that was difficult. And for some reason, we couldn't get that running. So I'm going to try to get that running this stream and see if I can. Now, sorry I didn't look up the code ahead of time before the stream. I probably should have done that. This looks like a set block code. Yeah, this looks like this. And I don't understand what's happening or what's not happening here. This should activate the moment a player runs across this. But what I think has to happen is this has to be like powered all the time. Then when the player crosses over it, those things should happen. For example. But you can see, like, we should see code happening in the lower left-hand corner being executed, and it, of course, is not. So something's wrong with our code here. So it should be, here's the detection zone right in here. crossing those blocks like that. And then it should set a block in place right here. And that's what we're trying to get it to do. It should be setting this redstone block right into this place. It could. So if we do this now, it's on. We're in survival mode. Now if we try. Yeah, see, we're still not getting the detection. So the block is powered. And it should be making a block appear right here, a redstone block like this one. And of course, once a redstone block here appears, right, that means this will flood and the parkour elements will pop out, right? And so this is what we're trying to have happen. Let me bring the music level down a little tiny bit. I think. Like right about there is good. Does it continuously run when powered or just once? It just runs once because if it continuously ran, it would be a chain block and it would be the purple kind of block. Not the orange kind of block. So now we've done this before when we had the much maligned moon event in season 5. Like Shut Mountain knows how to do this, and we've incorporated that into that moon event. And so when players would be running through a certain area, they would cross certain blocks, and then things would happen, right? And so Shut knows how to do that. And I, of course, have forgotten since then, because that was, for me, that was long ago. Let me do some moderation here. Bye-bye. Once per round before it resets, yeah. So the idea is the player will come through here, it detects once, and then makes this stuff happen, and then that's it, right? Until it resets. Right now, though, it's not rigged up to do that. It's just rigged up to just whenever I go through there, then we'll, when we get it to work, then we'll build it into the circuit. But we need to get it to work first. That's the idea. I mean, it runs the script, there is no player, it then stops. See if I understand that correctly. Oh, I think I see what you're saying, right? So what we would have to do is the player would have to already be in the blocks and then activate the command block. It would detect the player there. Okay, I think I see what you mean. Right. Yeah, and that's what we don't want to have happen. We want it to have it looking and looking and looking to detect the player, and then when the player runs through, it detects it and then initiates whatever it's supposed to initiate, right? So we can see if it's working or not, because the game tells us when it does. Um, like you can see in the lower left-hand corner down there, you can see it initiating its command, right? And again, you can see it initiating the command. The game will tell you, right? And then similarly over here, when it places the blocks, you can see all of the blocks it's placing there. And then when it removes them, it just replaces them with air. You can see it do it again, right? But this, we're not seeing it initiating the script at all. See, there's no indication down there in the lower left that anything has happened. Right? No idea if this is correct, but like command block activates, runs detect player script, sees no player, ends run. So my thinking it would be run in a loop to detect player, just over and over until it does. Yeah, I think that's what it is with having the it powered all the time. So but we could switch it to always, maybe always active does it? All right, and now you can see we've got something going on there in the left-hand corner, right? So now maybe it'll do its thing. So a redstone block should appear there. So maybe if I do this now, oh, still nothing. All right, but I think we're a little closer. I think you're thinking along the right lines there. Now see, when we put it on chain, that changes it into a chain block like that. And I think it'll run more of the way that you're suggesting, right? Yeah, still nothing though. Now it could be that it needs to be set conditional because it is an if kind of command. So conditional statement, right? If this, then that. So that could also be, maybe it has to be set to conditional. No. Okay, still not working. What happens if it's not powered, but we still have these kinds of previous output X O chain? Maybe repeat. Now repeat turns it into a purple block, I believe. Yeah, okay, now it's on a and then check if we need to be in survival mode. Yeah, still nothing. See if it needs power. It shouldn't need power, but yeah, no commands executing. Okay. Huh. Does it run once with a button? I never used command box, so my basic brain move was to run a repeater clock to trigger it over and over. Yeah. And, you're probably not wrong there. But the thing is, I've done this before. I just can't remember how I did it. Right? Shuck could probably remember how he did it. Usually I just look it up on ChatGPT, and that's what I did here. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, some things ChatGPT is not good for. Apparently, this is not one of them. Right? It's super useful for me for other things though, but for this, of course, there's always the thing. I'm probably not using it right. Right. Maybe that one. All right, I'm just trying to look it up right now. Oh, yuck. You can set ChatGPT to have certain personality traits now. Ugh. Please keep the monkey out of it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, emotionless machine. Just let it be its thing. Don't put any monkey stuff in there, please. Command block redstone is where we... All right. Let's try to ask it this instead. V like this. Oh, it doesn't want to do that. Come on, please. Come on. Do I create a command block that when a player is detected in a specific area, a command is executed. There we go. Let's see what it has to say. Place a repeating command block. Set to repeat, set to always active. So that's what I have, I believe. Repeat, always active. Right. Enter this command. So let's read ahead a little bit. Should the command block be set to conditional or unconditional? The command block should be unconditional. I find that strange, but okay. Repeat block, unconditional, always active. All right. Yes. And then Sage is like, I'm out of here. Lurk. Appreciate the lurk, though, Sage. Yeah, this is the tough stuff for a stream right here. Okay, let's see what it's going to do now. Let's see what it's saying about this. Now it says, enter this command. Right, now I think I already have this. Right. Let me compare my code to its code. There we go. So let me see, execute if entity, right, that, okay, equals 71y equals, okay, good. 72c equals fine. Dx equals that, dy equals that, dz equals that, good, and then run. Okay, good. So my code looks like it's correct. How the area detection works. Right, if any player, right. Run command. All right, let's do this first. Let's do something simpler. And we'll just run a simple say command. There. Done. Okay, good. And then, let's see. Execute. Players entered the area. Spawning a redstone block. That's kind of scary. Right. Okay, let's ask it a few things. Should the command block be powered? Say with a lever. Short answer, no, it should not be powered. Bye-bye. Okay. Your detection setup, the correct settings are repeating command block, needs redstone off. Right. That's always active, right? Always active on, unconditional. This makes the block run automatically every game tick, 20 times per second. Okay, so I think that should address what Sage was talking about. When would you power over the redstone? Okay, leave it unpowered, set it to always active. Good. Will the command block function for any player in creative or come on, survival. Yes, by default, it will detect players in any game mode, including survival creative. So that answers that. All right. So it's saying if I go through these blocks. Okay, hey, it worked. All right, so that works. We got it to work. Okay, now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like it activates 10 times. All right, so this is good. We have progress, people. We have progress. Okay, let's ask it next. It seems to run the command 10 times. How can I alter it to run the command once per player detection? Repeating command block always checks 20 times per second. Okay, so if the player, the command may fire several times, that's the behavior you're seeing. To make the command run only once per player when you need to track whether that player has already triggered it. The cleanest modern solution uses a scoreboard. Ugh. I don't like the scoreboard thing. All right, but here's the deal. And this is what I'm thinking. It's going to place like 10 redstone blocks here. That's what I'm thinking. Now, that might not be a problem because it can only occupy one space at a time, so it might not be a problem. Let's try it out. So run. Let's try to run set block. Run set block. And let's get some coords. And let me see. F3. F3, please. There we go. All right, I have to hit that twice now. Let's see. 716, 65, and 1745. So there we go. Good. Let's do this. Run. We'll do set block. Good. And then it wants coordinates. So we said what? 716. We said 65. And then I thought I said negative 17. 64, but we'll fix it if we need to. And then let's do yeah, there it is. Then we'll hit done. And then we'll just double check these coordinates. What did I have? Negative 1745. Okay, I was close. I was close. Let's change it. Done like this. Okay, let's see what happens. Changed the block. Okay, so we're off a little bit. It put the block up here. Why did it do that? Is it 54? Not for, do I have the coordinates correct? Oh, that's why, yeah. Where's targeted block? Targeted block, here we go. 71664. Negative 1743. Okay, and we don't have another block occupying that space, so that should be good. Now, when we go into here, there it goes. Now, but nothing activated, so that's not a good sign. Okay, it looks like it's a little too high up, so we'll lower it down by one block. Let's see what happens now. That is looking good, people. Nice. All right, I do like that. And I have some ideas. All right, basically what I'm thinking, this should be a regular piston, is it? No, that's a sticky piston. So it might do something like this. For example, regular piston like this. It might do this kind of a thing. When the player enters across, it might place a redstone block like maybe here. And, or wait, oh, wow. Oh, but you'd have to do the orientation. Yeah, that would suck. So yeah, it would place a redstone piston there, redstone block there. And then when they come back and it's finished, it will place a redstone block there and remove that one, or remove that one first and then place a redstone block there. It could do something like that and then remove this. So it's a string of commands, maybe, but I think it'll work. That might be a way to do it. But at least we have this working now. That's a good thing. All right, we can take this out. And now what do we want to do? I'm wondering now if we have different things happening. Like off of this block now, Um, you know what? What happens if the redstone block gets placed here? And then we have a situation like this. Where we have command blocks like this. And so this makes the redstone block appear here and then initiates these commands. And then when it's done, it takes those out. Yeah, this is interesting. So let's do this. Let me see. This places the redstone block. It takes the redstone block away. All right. So it puts a redstone block right there. This is supposed to place the barrier slabs. But maybe not yet, right? We need to... I'm thinking... this would be Control C. That would be this one. Control V. Done. All right, that would take care of that. And then you would get the barrier blocks, the barrier slabs in place, right? So we would get all of these. Now, there's also a way to... Control key and middle mouse. All right. So I think what happens now is if I want to copy these, I can just do this. Like I can do Control. And I should get the same one. Hopefully it has the same code, maybe. Let's see. Yeah. That way I don't have to do all that typing, right? Now this will copy this one. So in creative mode, just to copy a block that you're targeting, that you're looking at, you can press down Control and then the middle mouse wheel. And it will copy that block and it'll copy all of that block's settings and stuff too. So let's see. 1764. 1946. It looks like the same one each time though. Hopefully it's not. That's 1717. Oh, this is 1716, so it's different for each one. Success! All right, let's get the others. So that's these two here. Control middle mouse wheel, like this. That was number 3. Control middle mouse wheel, that should be number 4. And then we'll check these. power like this. The thing is, this might be soft powered though, and that might not be a good idea. We might have to actually set the block up like maybe here with the repeater running across. Well, we'll see what happens. So let's make sure that we're progressing properly. 7, 6, 5, 4. Good. All right. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That one says 6 again, but it's the next one over. Huh? Places barrier blocks, right? This looks like it's wrong. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, 6, right? Oh, wait. That's 7. That's what, oh, bah. Thunderhand, really. Chat, please. You got to help me out with things like this. I'm relying on you. 7. This would be 6. This would be 5. 7, 6, 5. This should be 4. And now it should change. 7, 6, 5, 4. And then the next row, right? So this should be 746, 745, and then the next, right? So this. 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 And last but not least, this one. Awk. Hands, please. Please. If you could just never, ever do that again, that would be awesome. Let's check them. 6, 5, 4. That's 45. These should be 46. Yes. Okay, it looks like we're good. San, si, u, liu, chi, ba, jo. So we're less than 15, so we should be good. All right, now let's change where the redstone block happens. I want the redstone block to appear here. Then when the redstone block appears here, this will make the redstone block appear over there, and these will make the barrier blocks drop into place. So first of all, let's see if putting a redstone block here actually does that. It looks like it did. Okay. Yeah, barrier blocks are in place. This is flooded. Yeah, okay, it looks like it's doing its thing. Great. And then what happens? If that gets removed, they just stay in place. Good. And then we would need something that then removes that stuff. Maybe a clock, right? Okay, so removes barrier slabs. Okay, and then removes this. Okay, we're good. Let's see if we're back and we're reset, and we are good. All right, this isn't bad. This is progress. This is what progress looks like, people. Slow and painful. What are we doing for time here? Looks like we have about 4 minutes until we take our break. All right, so here's another thing that I want to have happen now. How can we have this work? I think I know. Oh, I think I know. All right, let's try. There's one thing I want to do. Oh, no, 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 no. I think I've got this. Here's one of the problems, right? It's like, okay, so the player crosses this now, the barrier blocks go up, and this stuff happens. This floods, and the parkour stuff comes out. What I want to have happen now is the player gets to the end. When they push this button, they get their items. I want this to drain. The parkour elements, features recess into the walls, and then I want this to drop. However, when they cross this again, all of that stuff's going to activate again. So how do we prevent that from happening? How do we prevent that from happening? One simple thing that we could do, this is kind of dumb, but the player goes into there, it places the block here. And these features are in place, right? The player goes to do their thing. This comes out, and then what happens here? What could happen here is, um, like, um, maybe a row of blocks could happen here. And so, see, the player goes over that detection area to escape. They go over the detection area to escape, and then after a certain amount of time, those disappear. So then they could go back and use it again if they wanted to. That might be a solution. We could have these appear for a certain amount of time, and then they disappear. That could happen. That could totally be a thing. But we are at time to take our 3-minute ad break, so I'm going to do that, and then when we come back, we'll start to work out some of the logistics of that. All right, so yeah, we will take a short break. We'll run 3 minutes of ads. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. That was probably a little more than 3 minutes, and sorry. If so, I apologize. We are in standing mode. Standing room only, people. I hate you, toilet. Biggity! Welcome on in, number one, son. Thanks for that redeem. Okay, so where we left off now is we've got this thing to activate when we go through. Let's undo stuff here. Okay, so let's drain the swamp. And let's drop the barrier blocks. Let's do those. Sorry, the redeem is loud. No, that's cool. It's supposed to be loud. Okay, so we're reset. And you can see when I went through this area here, it initiated those. We don't have it quite putting in those blocks. Maybe it's because when I went through there, I was already in place, or what happened? Okay, that's where we're at. All right, let's do that. Okay, it's supposed to do this. We unpower that. Okay, so we want to put we want this to place a redstone block right there. Right, and so we'll change the coordinates for the set stone, the set block, set stone, set block. We can't see your screen, bot. Thank you, son. You know, I have been doing this for a while. Thunder. Please. All right, so let's get these coords. All right, so we need, let me see. We need, where is targeted block? This is always hard for me to find because it's in different areas now. 706, 61, 1752. So we can do 706. 706. This should be down to 61. And then what's the final chord on there? Negative 1752. Done and done. We should be good. Now, when we cross that area, it should spawn in a block right in here. Let's try it out. Okay, but nothing happened. So that means our coordinates... we're a little too low. Let's bring it up by 1. There we go. So when the player comes through here now... Okay, that's good. There's a little bit of a delay there, but it's not bad. And we can do that with a repeater, actually. We have a repeater in place. We can just do that. All right, so let's remove. That way we can get the timing a little bit better. Remove redstone block. There we go. Remove barrier slabs. There we go. Okay, so maybe this will be a little bit better, like this. That's not bad. But I'll tell you what. That's not quite the way I want that to work. I just want to get the timing just right on this. See it now. Yeah, of course. Thank you, son. Remove redstone block. That takes that one out. Remove barrier slabs. Okay, so what I want is I want another repeater between this command block and these ones. No, all that work. No, it's not that bad. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Now I'm not sure that this can conduct a redstone signal through the command block like this. Let's see if it can do that. Can you do this? Yeah, it can. Great. All right, that means it should have activated the flood and the parkour, right? So let's deactivate that. Right, we can just hit it to remove that, retracts that. Okay, now we can reset this stuff here. We need to copy these 8 blocks over. Again, that's easy to do. You could just hold down Control, press middle mouse wheel button, and then it will copy that block and its settings, which is super handy. 2, 3. That way we can get the code inside the block and we don't have to type it each time. That's very nice. 4. So that takes care of the first row, and then 5. Oh, wait. No, I'm doing this right. I want the flood to happen first, then a very slight delay, and then the barrier blocks to go up. That's what I want. So 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、and then 8 right there. Okay, good. Let's get some redstone dust. Like that, slight delay. Let's check the settings just to make sure we copied everything correctly. That's still good. 46.7, 46.6, 46.5, 46.4, and then this should be 45.7, 45.6, 45.5, 45.4. We should be okay now. Let's try it out. So again, we're running along like this. We come through here. Like this happens, that happens. This is in place. The player can't get back out. Zombies can run underneath. Player parkours up through here or tries. It's a little bit challenging. It's very challenging for me because I can't parkour for crap. But anyways, yeah, they parkour through here. Then they get at the end. Okay, they press the button, the items pop out. But this button activating the items popping out can also activate the retraction of this stuff. But if it does, well, it could put it on a delay. Like we could just use like a repeater delay on that. So they would come back through here like this. And then maybe by the time they get to the end, this will drop, or maybe even halfway through. And then we wanted to place our slabs here. we wanted to place 2 rows of slabs. So we wanted another command block. But this is going to be nice because this will just be a command block. And then when the player climbs up through this, and in fact, for this particular one, I should probably not texture these. Or I should at least not texture these ones. That way I can stack 2 blocks on top of each other like that, right? So 2 slabs. Right, so we would get, we want this to appear like this. So the player can just come up and over and out. And then after so many seconds, so many ticks, these would then be removed. All of this stuff would be removed. That would automatically be reset. And then the player would then be outside. Could, if they wanted to, come back and then use this again. That's the idea. And I think that kind of system will prevent the player from doing this kind of thing: activate, deactivate, activate, deactivate, and break everything, right? So I think that, you know, that's gonna have to be my solution for right now. I think that's gonna be what it's gonna take. Okay, so when they press the button, what happens is a signal gets delivered down into here. And then this block gets pushed into place there, and then this happens. And I believe I have a regular piston there instead of a sticky piston, because I only want them to receive the gifts once. If I wanted multiple times, then I would put a sticky piston there. But the other thing is, I don't want them to keep pressing the button and pressing the button and pressing the button, right? So I just want to let them do it once. So what's something we can do here? But that does power this block down here. That's not a good thing. But what can happen is something like this, where when that gets pushed into place, we get a signal coming out. This can be moved. So again, this is the cool thing. Now see how I have all the depth strider things inside of this barrel? I can control middle mouse wheel, and it will not only copy the barrel, but it'll copy everything in it. And so I can move this now. And I can do this. Right, that way I can get it out of the way of the circuit, right? And then I can get another, well, I know, I'm making a mess here. I know, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. what we can do here is I do kind of want to line these up so they correspond because, yeah, I'm that kind of a guy. This will correspond with this one, so that's where you get the galoshes. Like this. Let's come on, Ba. Come on. Let's do that and empty out our inventory. There, like that. We'll go like this. Empty out the inventory again. Like that. We'll then copy the shillelaghs on over like this. And this just helps me restock them. There we go. Right. And so this corresponds to, and it helps me do that. All right. Now we have a second circuit over here. And the idea with that is when this goes into here, now we're going to need some sort of clock, countdown clock. Now, I could use a comparator clock on this. But the thing with a comparator clock, though, the problem with that the problem with the comparator clock is that it stays fully powered and then it runs down. There might be something we can do with that. The other thing is we could just make a repeater clock, right? So right, you could just run a number of repeaters like this. This is a pretty old school way of doing this. And then we can just adjust these, right, to see how many we're going to need. Right, so let's do this first. And let me see, this removes this redstone block. So we can copy this. And we could place this, if I do this right. It's a pretty big if. If I do this right, it will do that. Now, the thing we could also do with this too is put an observer so it'll push pull and pulse that only once. We could do that. Like we could use an observer for this actually. Yeah, you know, observer would probably be the way to go with this. Maybe like that. The thing is, though, we're probably going to need a T flip-flop because this will double pulse. It's got to read this. It's got to put out to the back. It should be okay. And then we'll use a button to reset it if we need to. I always like to have resets on the T flip-flops wherever I can. I'm kind of reluctant to put this one onto here because it may activate that. Maybe not. Okay, so when this comes across here, this will read that moving into place. It'll send a single pulse through here. And then down through here. This should then remove this block when it's put into place. So let's try it out. Okay. So player comes through here like this. And nothing happens at all. What's gone wrong? Oh, is this still in place? Is that why? Yeah, all right. All right, here we go. So player comes through here like this. Barriers in place. Oh no, baby zombies coming through. Oh no. Should I run through? Oh no, I can parkour like this maybe, right? Yeah. Yeah. You know, and then they'll go through. All right. They get to the end. And we'll check out what the delay is on this. Okay, I get a shillelagh and a set of boots. Okay, so that happens a little too quick. All right. So that happens a little too quickly, right? But it does happen nicely. I like the way it happens. All right, so I can reset this. That shuts that off. Good. I can restock these while I have these in the inventory. Good. Purge said inventory. Done. Okay, so this doesn't... Now we could save ourselves a little space here. We can't put redstone there. We got to be careful. Come over to here. I'll bring this over 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get some dust. What am I doing? Please. Huh? That's what I'm trying to do right there. Oh, thunder, please. We'll put some dust right in here. Bring this over like this. Now see, I'm tempted to put some dust over here and then do this again and snake it back and forth with 4s. Kind of like that idea. However, yeah, if we have redstone here, it's going to read that on the side of that comparator. So we could just do this and get away with that. But then you have to do this anyway. So you're always going to have to stagger these. And the idea is to try to save some space so you don't. Let's do this. Now that was, I think I had about 8 there before, so I don't think that that's going to be enough. So I'm going to put one more row right here. Yeah, that's not going to work. Now, if I wanted to, I could put a target block here, or I could put another repeater here, right? Same thing with this. Not necessary, but okay, so this should now do its thing. It should be all set to go, right? Let's see if that's enough time for it. All right, this has to be removed. All right, so player crosses over into here. That all engages like this. They come back to here. Oh no, they're here. They do their parkour. Right, they get on through. They press the button. They get their stick in their boots. Gives them a moment to put them on. They start wading back through. Yeah, they start wading back through. What? Oh, for some reason it didn't copy the command like it should have. Oh, okay. All right, remove the redstone block. All right, maybe I didn't quite have the button pressed the way it needs to be. Let's do this. No, we're gonna have to try this again. There. Now this should power down. Actually, it's not going to, right? That should be reset now. Good. All right. I'm thinking of other things too, because this needs that to retract, but we'll think about that in just a moment. Restock. Restock. Reset like that. How am I doing for time, by the way? I have 21 minutes. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Okay. I'm actually going to head into survival mode for this. But before I do, let's clear the inventory. There we go, survival mode. All right, because I want to see how long it takes to put the boots on after you get them out of the... So player runs through here like this. Oh, that's on here. Oh my God, zombies coming through. Oh, I can parkour, right? So I forgot to do the coyote jump there. Oh no, the baby zombies are coming. Now the baby zombies are going to be slowed down by the water, right? So we get this, what happens? Oh, I get some things in my inventory. Sometimes the galoshes go right onto your body. Sometimes they don't, right? Oh, yeah. See, that's way too fast. And then these will appear for you to climb up and out, and then everything will disappear, and then we should be all set. That's not enough time, and that's a lot of repeaters. So I'm thinking repeater clock is not the way to go here. It just takes too long. We can just kill that because we can copy it from right over there. But the T flip-flop should have stayed. Thunder. Please. There we go. T flip-flop. Now, when Biggie comes back, if we do another Redstone stream, I hear everybody groan, except Biggie and I, we like it. But we should go over, you know, when we get latches and things like that. T flip-flop is one of them. T flip-flop is when you want a button to act like a lever. All right, and in certain cases, you want that to happen, right? You want a pulse as an input, but you want a steady signal as an output, right? So T flip-flop in this case turns a double pulse into a single one. Because the observer, when it reads the block update, it will read the block update as the block changes from state 0 to state 1, and then it'll read it again as it changes from state 1 back to state 0, so you'll get a double pulse, right? Like this would activate twice. That's the problem. We might not actually need it here because this will drop the block off. But maybe. Shut Mountain, welcome on in. Shut, we did need you earlier, dude. I figured it out though, but we needed a command block that detects the player going across certain blocks, going through a certain area. We did need that earlier, and I'm thinking to myself, I know Shut Mountain knows this. I just got in, yeah. So we did need you earlier for that. But I figured it out though. I remembered what we did in the moon event, and that with ChatGPT helped me out a little bit too with some of the, and then we got it, so we got it to work. But I was telling the viewers, yeah, Shut Mountain knows how to do this. For me, that was too long ago, and I haven't used it since. So. All right, so what we need next is, oh, well, I may as well demo it for you, right? Remembering the command would have been a bit of a joke, but I'm glad you figured it out. Well, I was in the same boat, right? Yeah, we used it, but it's like, what was the syntax again? So what we want to have happen is when the player's running through here, fleeing from the baby zombies, they're running through here, they may decide to go down this area. So they run through here, and when they do, this floods, the parkour features come out, but a barrier also comes up, so they can't exit, but the baby zombies can proceed and chase them underneath, right? And then the idea is they get to the end here, and they decide to press the button. In this case, it's beneficial. They'll get some galoshes, and they'll get a stick. So this has Depth Strider 3. The stick has Knockback 2. The baby zombies are wading slowly through the water, but they can go quickly through the water now and swat them away. And hopefully by the time they get back to the edge of the water, this will drain, those will pop back into the wall. And then so the player doesn't cross this again and activate it, we'll have some slabs appear like this. And so the player can go up and over and run out. These will disappear, and then the baby zombies can come out too. And then the player can either be on their way, or if they want to try it again, they can. But They should be on their way through the rest of the maze. So that's what we're trying to have happen. Yeah, too long ago for me as well. Yeah, I figured you might have used it since then, but shot, that was a long time ago, buddy. But we figured it out, and now that I have it in the map, and now I can just go back and refer to it now. So I think I removed the barrier blocks. Did I not? No, I didn't, but I can just break them. That's fine. Oh, I crossed the area again. I was a little too low when I was flying over. Take that one out. We can take that one out. All right. I just have to not enter this area. There we go. Yeah, I actually put the detection area up right about here. That way, if the player happens to be jumping at the time, it'll still detect them. So instead of putting it down by their feet. I still don't think that they could jump over the detection blocks, but just in case, right? All right, so what I'm trying to have happen now is when I press the button and after those items are dispensed, I want a certain amount of time for them to get maybe to put on the boots if they need to put them on and start to get about maybe halfway across, maybe a little bit more, probably right about almost to the very end. And then I want a command block to drain this. And then put up the slab and retract those, and then put up the stair slabs here so they can make it on up through. In fact, if I were smart, I would just use stairs there. That would be less blocks to place. Let's try it. Let's see. Let's trigger it again. Can't make it through. Right? They can't do anything like that. That's good. They start making their way over. Okay, so this is what I wanted to see. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't help me. Yeah, I'm better off just doing what I was doing before and placing a row of slabs across here and then another row of slabs across there. Now, when I remove these slabs, I might get that kind of situation happening, right? So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. But if not, the player could always just jump up one to get out, but still. Right, and so we need some sort of clock circuit on this. And I know what we have. Now, I could have this come off at this angle, but I think it's going to make things a little too tight in there. We did come up with my little improvisation of an Etho hopper clock here. So we could do something like this. I just can't remember where the input and output is for this thing. How was I doing this? Oh my God. Okay, it looks like the input is here. Pushes this over and then pushes it back when it's done. It looks like that's my output. Yeah, I think I was doing that. Right. So I could do something like this. So it looks like observer for input. And then it looks like sticky piston, got it. Okay. Observer, sticky piston, redstone block. All right, yeah, I could do something like that. Where am I? I'm lost. Ah, okay, I'm back over here. Good. Now we do already have an observer here. I don't know if I'm going to need a T flip-flop for this or not. So let's take the T flip-flop out for right now. We'll put the piston in place. Come on. There we go. Sticky fingers. Oh, Bucciarati reference there. Okay, we do have that. Then we want a redstone block. I can then, that should be a regular piston over here like that. So it pushes and then pushes it back. God, where am I? Okay, it's across this way. Then I want the double hoppers underneath. Okay. Yeah, I keep zipping past it. That's a problem. It's on this side of it. There we go. Now we have the hoppers feeding into each other like that. Let me see. Then we have the actual clock side of it. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room for this. This should be here, 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 here like this. So on the sticky piston side, I need the comparator reading that. So when it's empty, this will see that going off, send the signal up and through. Got it. I'm learning. All right, the output I want on this side, so we can flip things over here. We need to read this hopper. So let me see, comparator. Comparator, I think, reads this way and outputs that way. All right, and then observer is going to need to read that. Okay, we're going to need now a target block right there. And then I think I had this right here to activate that piston. Good. And then this hopper reads this and then outputs the signal on the opposite side. Okay. So now we need to read this one. And here's our output. I was very proud of this little hopper clock. I mean, I'm using Etho's original idea, but I kind of customized it to make it fit. And, you know, I'm sure other players have come up with this kind of thing too. It's not mine originally, but I like arriving at things myself like this. It's cool. So now we can just set this. So the way this will happen is that when this hits over here, this will read it, It'll push this over. These items, this will unlock and start sending items over to here. When it gets over here and all the way back, this will see the difference, output the signal, it'll push this back, this will read it, and then close it. That's the idea of the way it's supposed to work. So, and then when that happens, we want to remove this redstone block. So to copy this, we just target it, we hold down Control, click middle mouse wheel, and then we get the block that we want. And it's facing the wrong way. There we go. And let's see. Yeah, all right, so it should do it. Now, what's my initial state here? Yeah, I have 16 cobblestone in there. All right, so let's do this. Now, if I put 16 cobblestone in here, this should remain locked, but this is going to see that. So let's do that first. There we go. Now, when this empties, that will go off. But as long as there's something in here, this should stay on, so it shouldn't change state. So this might work. Might being the key word. Let's get down here. Like this. Okay, looks like we're set to go there. Looks like we're set to go there. All right, so let's do this. Explosives. Oh no! I can't parkour for crap. Especially when I'm in standing mode, my wrist is bent like this. That's the ultimate worst. But anyways, yeah, we get through here. We get to the end. We press this. Okay, so that shut off instantly that time. So that means my clock didn't work. Why not? Oh, and then we're going to have that to deal with too. All right. So just for now, just to see it working, let's do this. Now this would be a redstone block in here. All right. So this is, clock is supposed to take that block away. Now, same thing with this. All right, so that should be outputting a signal. Oh, wait a minute. I think I see what the problem is. No, it's correct. It has these in here. When this shifts over to this side, it unlocks that side and locks this side. And then when this fills up, it should push it back. And let's get rid of this. And let's just, we'll put a lamp in there for now. And that way we don't need that over there. I just want to see it working, right? So that would detect that doing its thing. This is filling up, but it sends power right away. Oh, okay. And then it shuts it off. So I'm what I actually need is an inverter, I think. Or this needs to be working backwards. Inputs and outputs have to be backwards. That's on. This is off. So this will turn a signal on instantly, keep it on for a certain amount of time, and then turn it off. And that's what I was trying to do there because I wanted it to hold the doors open. But I don't think I need it to do that. What I think I need it to do oh well, that was stupid. There we go. All right, I was looking for that hopper to change state. And actually, I don't think the observer can see that on its own. So let me think about this for a moment. Yeah, it just needs to send out a pulse. And I think all I'm going to need for that then is maybe just this. No, hold on. So I don't need it there. I need it on the way back. I need it on the way back. So I need it right there. So when that gets up to 16, again for the second time, okay, so that's like a if less than 16, no signal, if 16 signal. So we could do like subtract mode into something like that. But it is 2:05. And we are at the end of the stream. But I do feel like we do need a hopper clock here or some kind of longer clock than a repeater clock, and that's fine. We accomplished a lot today. We accomplished quite a bit, I feel. So we got a command block. We've got this now so that when we run into this area, we have the player is detected, which is super cool. They come over to here. This floods. The parkour features come out and the barrier block goes up. We did that today. And I feel like that's significant progress. Not only that, but now we have this kind of player detector repeater command block. Now we've got that working. Now that we have it here for reference. If we need to use it in any other place, we can certainly do that. Now it's just a matter of rigging up this clock to do its thing and just figuring out how to reset it afterwards, right? Okay, if that's the case, there we go. And it is the case. Let's see to whom we would like to raid out. We have Lux and Genie. If I'm not mistaken, I may have raided to Genie last time. I think I did. So I think this time I'll raid out to Lux. Let's put the raid message up in the chat. There you go. The raid message should appear to you up there in the chat. If you would like to join us along on this, you can copy and paste this into the chat. Let's set up the raid itself. And let's put the space in between there so it actually goes through. And there we have it. The raid is counting down for fellow buffoon Lux J Gaming. Family-friendly viewers, just be reminded that Lux's stream is meant for mature audiences. There's some language and some shenanigans in there, but he is super cool. We have a lot of shared community, so chances are you'll see people in there that you know. Our next stream, or just remember that we do this stream every Wednesday from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our next stream will be Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Excuse me. And that will be Buffooncraft SMP Season 6. And we are in the holiday mode. And so we have the Lucky Block redeems, 5 per stream. And that's for all of us buffoons, by the way. And the stream after that should be Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That should be Kachi time. If Kachi feels like streaming, we'll see. Everybody, happy holidays. And let's raid out to Lux right now. Bye for now, everyone.